So my clock says 8:26. Is that correct?
9:29.
Oh, oh.
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. Today's topic is Don't Pop My Bubble. When everyone lives in their own bubble, how do we actually meet and connect? This is like really one of my issues. Like, I live in a bubble. I never really realized it before, but I don't like to go out. I don't like to socialize, and I realized as I've aged, I mean, I wasn't always like that. I used to like to go out and try and connect with people. And then I realized I don't really ever connect with them. I'm in their environment. I may be, communicating with them, but there's no connection. And in my life, what I've done is I feel like I've just retreated and I have a very small environment, and I'm very hesitant to change it and let anybody into it. But then how do you connect?
Hmm. Come to It's All Good every single Wednesday morning.
It is a challenge. Maybe it is age related, Susanna. I don't know. It seems that my world or my bubble has gotten smaller as I've aged as well. I just think maybe it's like fine wine. The discernment, has gotten stronger. Okay, like aging with good wine. Um, it is the question. So, how do you stay connected, or how do you connect? Um, I I know this is gonna sound weird, but I watched a video on how bubbles merge. Okay, because I was thinking about this. There are videos about how bubbles can merge, and it was actually fascinating. I think we all are in our own bubbles, but that thing about wanting to connect, and what was interesting is the bubbles, each of us in our own bubble are separate, and yet, if we get close enough, so that what does that mean? If you get close enough, and if you have the bubbles touching, it's interesting. It appeared to me that it depended on the amount of surface that they touched. So, what's the equation of that in our getting closer to one another or wanting to be close to another? And then there was an instance. So, there's some time of these bubbles touching, and then it pops. It just and it is one bubble. It was delightful. I was like, yeah, wow. So does that, I can say, I think that does happen as I get to know somebody or get closer to like even all of you. We're up against each other, and then there literally is like a pop. And where is that pop felt? For me, I feel that pop in my heart. It's like, ah, ah, connect.
That's an interesting visual. Um, I find that I'm pretty social, and I go to the grocery store. I don't really know them all, but the more I see them, and a lot of small talk, and you get to have a certain number of friends, and then the difference in my life has been pickleball. It has opened up a world of different lovely people with
Mm.
different interests, and yeah, not everyone wants to play pickleball, but it's a lovely activity. Or choose your poison.
Yeah, I had the same experience with pickleball years ago, and just an awesome group of very diverse people. But you can connect with people and sort of in pockets. Like I have one lady sometimes I walk with, and one friend we go for coffee, and you guys we meet here Wednesday mornings, and so anyways, you can share your bubble here and there in different ways.
What's wrong with a bubble? I have no problem with bubbles. I
No.
like my bubble. And as for connection, it's so different for different people. As I said, like not being very extroverted or social or being social, I think we choose our bubble. And there is nothing wrong with it. Does it change with age? Definitely, I think. But I don't know. I respect both kind of people that are social and that are actually very introverted. And I feel I can connect with both groups. So yeah, I don't know. I actually don't want anybody to pop my bubble. I like my bubble like you, and then I have a bubble at work, and then I have a bubble at home. Beautiful. Diversity.
Yeah, I kind of like my bubble too. And I guess I choose whether I want to merge with somebody else's or get a little irritated if someone tries to pop my bubble. But I found on many different occasions that it's okay. You know, sometimes it's okay. It's that running into that person that maybe, like you said, Jocelyn, at the grocery store or out and about, that you're just in your own world and that something happens, you know, to where you're, oh gosh, you know, there's other people around me. And, you know, I'm one of those people. I like to engage with whoever I come across in the grocery store, the cashiers, or at the gas station, or whatever, just to give them that extra maybe smile or boost for the day. Because especially in service, I know those people get a hard time. Excuse
So you
me,
mean
are given a hard time a lot of times. So go ahead, Oksana.
just this isn't you, it's interesting concept that when you have more in common, that's when you connect. Anyway, that's when it allows you to pop your bubble to open up. And that's the whole point. Okay, how much do I want to how much in common do you have with another person? So the more in common, then obviously I'm gonna get connected with him or with her because of these topics, right? While actually there might be a lot of other things that we might disagree.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I find even with my own family, you know, there's, I guess that's the thing. You have to find something in common, but you think even in your own family you would have something in common. But you know, we don't even talk on the phone. Like we text, that's about it. You know, are you okay? Are you still alive? You know, but there's no real connection there. And you know, growing up, I found that it's very hard to, as you said, your bubbles may touch, but you don't actually merge because there's so many other things involved. Like, do I really trust this person to get close to me? You know, and you know, what happens when suddenly I get closer and then they're, you know, rubbing me up and I feel like I just want to scream and run away. So then I'm isolated myself again. You know, and I mean, we have social functions we go to, but are people really connecting? You know, you may be on your phone, you're Facebooking or whatever there are. Can't even keep up with it, but are you really connecting, or is it just a desire for a deeper connection and it's not happening?
I think that friendships take time. They take years to cultivate in order to gain the trust. And you make arrangements to meet somewhere, and if they're late all the time, then maybe that gets to be an irritation. And depending on, basically, I'll be selfish. If they're not giving back to me, then at some point I'll go, you know what? You're not worth it. So I think it really depends. If we're talking about the bubble and they touch, like, are we going to have things in common? Then you're going to want to pursue that connection. Otherwise, it can remain friendly, but you don't have to see them as often as you might see somebody else.
So it boils down to, are you mergeable to me or not? Okay. There's a judgment here. Can I merge with you?
Mhm.
And that's increasing the surface, like you said, are there things more in common, surface contact or not? I think it boils down to that. Do we ourselves want to be more connected? Or am I've heard, we really like to be in our bubble. My comfort zone is in my bubble. Do we have a desire to want to connect with family, with friends, with others, or not? We don't do anything if we don't want to do it, bottom line. So we're all floating around in our bubbles. And are we happy like that?
I think we
And sorry, go ahead.
think we absolutely have to do it whether we want to or not. We have families that depend on us. And, there's times I don't feel like, but then once I get there, then it's like, why was I resistant to this? Why was I? And I absolutely have to connect with my mother, especially. There's times where I've left and I've been like, I think I was on my phone or my iPad too much, but my desire when I go is to, like, I really want to connect with her. I want to connect with my dad. I want to connect with my, other family. And when I do, it's amazing. It's amazing. And, even if we don't have things in common, I want to hear about what's going on in their life. And my mother has the most amazing stories. She's the best storyteller ever. So it's, sometimes maybe I don't want to or feel like it, but I have to for them. I want, and then all of a sudden it becomes I want to for them. So, and I do want to connect. I do want to learn how to connect better with people.
So sometimes our bubble might pop when we get close, and sometimes we might merge. And then I kind of hear sometimes our bubble can expand, and we can expand what's sort of like worth it or what's good for me to what's maybe someone else wants to share my bubble, or maybe I can adjust what I'm doing so I can fit into someone else's bubble. I definitely am working on those things to expand my bubble without bursting anybody's or my own.
Yeah, because most of the connections are superficial. You're right. Like we touch, but we don't really merge with each other. And we, most of the time, sometimes we don't have the desire. We want to stay in our bubble. Yes, and have all these connections close by. Sometimes I'm linked to this, sometimes I'm linked to that. I have group here and they have group there. But I am me and my bubble, and don't touch my bubble. And that's what like when Pam was saying about, yeah, I go places, but sometimes I don't really connect. I don't connect enough. I said, okay, board games back, that allows us to communicate, right? Can work too.
Well, it really seems like it's things that we have to become aware of. And I really like your bubbles rubbing up against each other analogy, because it really makes us aware of, I have a hard surface on my bubble and it's hard to get through.
It brings up, sometimes I'm not a bubble and I'm a pin. What does that mean? I mean, I just feel nasty. I just feel nasty. I want something my way. I'm the pin.
Bubble
Well,
with peace.
A porcupine bubble.
so I guess our desire, it boils down to, do we really have a desire to connect deeper than just surface rubbing up against each other, And by getting closer and merging, then we begin to feel the other person differently, and then we changes our perspective on things, I think.
But I don't think, sorry, did I interrupt anybody? Just shortly, when I said, what's wrong with the bubbles? I think people will always connect according to their interest, like in inner interest. And there will be bubbles, but those bubbles should function together, like each bubble has its function, like in a body, right? Our body is full of bubbles, but they are all connected in a. So I don't know. What is merging of bubbles? We all become. I don't know. That concept is still not clear to me. I think there will be bubbles, but cooperating perfectly.
I see that as well. I see the bubbles like a big mass of bubbles. Each one is still an individual, but we're all touching. Like that's how I see them.
Yeah.
Question is, do I want to touch?
You've muted yourself, Susanna.
Yes. Well, it's probably, I didn't have anything interesting to say, maybe. I can't remember now.
She's in her bubble.
Yeah, I've retreated into my bubble. Sorry, I'm leaving now.
Well, thank
So-
you, everyone, for joining today.
Oh. Yeah, thank you for being with us today. And please like and share and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. And please feel welcome to comment and tell us about your bubble and give us some feedback so we can, change our topics to suit you. What matters most is staying connected, and it's all good.